Humans abandon peace, talks the Galactic Council, realizes their mistake. Dozens of species from all corners of the galaxy had gathered, their forms strange and beautiful. Some walked on multiple legs, some had wings, and others floated slightly above the ground. Voices of many tones filled the hall, speaking in languages humans did not know, though translators rendered them instantly. Humans were a small presence in the room. Alex Morgan walked forward with steady steps. He was tall and calm, wearing a simple uniform without any decoration. Beside him were Lisa Brown, who handled communications, and Kevin Hall, who oversaw technical details. Together, they carried a quiet confidence, a calm that did not waver even as alien eyes watched them with curiosity or doubt. The council chamber had been used for thousands of years. Its reputation was well known. It was a place where disputes were resolved, where wars were prevented, and where laws that bound whole sectors of space were made. The humans knew this. They also knew the council believed them weak. The humans had lost wars before. They had barely survived contact with more advanced species. Many aliens still assumed that humans were fragile and easily controlled. The council session began with formal greetings. A large alien named Thorin, whose skin glimmered like bronze and whose eyes seemed to see through every person, spoke first. His voice echoed across the hall. "Humans, we welcome you to the peace talks. Though your history is brief and your strength limited, we appreciate your effort to join the council in dialogue." Alex listened. He bowed slightly in respect, then spoke in calm, clear words. "We are here to discuss peace. We do not seek conflict, but we will speak honestly. Our people deserve fairness." The council murmured among themselves. The humans were polite but direct. Aliens were not used to being challenged calmly. Most expected panic, anger, or fear. They did not expect the quiet certainty that humans carried. Thorin spoke again. "You are welcome to request what you wish, human, but remember your place. Your fleets are small. Your colonies are distant. Your technology is primitive compared to most of ours. Do not presume the council will grant what you cannot hold." Alex smiled slightly. It was not a smile of fear or anger, only understanding. "We do not presume, Thorin. We only ask for what is right. We ask for equality in trade routes, the removal of restrictions on our ships, and the ability to participate fully in council decisions. Nothing more." The room grew quieter. The alien delegates exchanged looks. Many laughed quietly among themselves. "They ask for more than their power allows," whispered one. Another nodded. "Humans have learned to speak well, but they will not act. They cannot act." Alex continued, unfazed. "We are not asking for your permission. We are stating our position. Fairness is not weakness. It is strength. It allows all species to grow without fear." Kevin Hall adjusted his uniform. He had always been the practical one in the group. He had studied alien technology, council rules, and history for years. He knew that the council rarely acted fairly. Yet he also knew that humans were no longer the same species they were centuries ago. They had grown, quietly, far beyond what the council had ever expected. Lisa Brown watched the chamber carefully. She noticed how small gestures affected the aliens. A glance, a nod, a calm stance. Humans had learned to communicate without anger or noise. In this hall, silence and calm were more powerful than shouting or threats. Thorin raised a hand and the murmuring stopped. "You speak with confidence, yet confidence is not power. Do you understand the consequences if your demands are denied?" Alex did not hesitate. "We understand. If peace is not possible, we will leave. Humans do not fear conflict. But we will not accept a council that treats us unfairly." The chamber seemed to shift. The alien delegates whispered in their languages, translating to each other. Many were shocked. Humans leaving the talks was not something they expected. They assumed humans would beg, plead, or compromise. Instead, Alex's calm voice carried certainty, and they realized humans would not be moved by ridicule or laughter. One elder, a species with long tendrils and glowing eyes named Malric, spoke slowly. "You are foolish. No other species has left the council without consequence. Your colonies will be blocked, your fleets destroyed, your voice erased. Why would you risk everything for pride?" Alex looked at Malric without fear. "It is not pride, it is fairness. We did not come here to beg. We came here to seek equality. If you cannot provide it, we will leave. History will remember which choice you made." A silence followed. The council members did not expect such calm words. Many species had never seen humans act with such quiet strength. They did not shout, they did not threaten, yet the meaning was clear. Humans would act not with anger but with force if needed. Thorin's voice hardened. You leave then, you abandon the talks, so be it. Know that this choice will have consequences. The council will not forget this. Alex inclined his head. We understand it is not abandonment. It is a choice to honor our people. Peace cannot be forced. Fairness cannot be ignored. We leave, but know this, humans are not weak. History has a way of showing the truth. As the humans turned to leave, the hall seemed to hold its breath. Whispers ran through the chamber. The other delegates watched as Alex, Lisa, and Kevin walked down the long aisle. Their steps were measured, calm, unafraid. It was a statement in itself. Humans had not spoken loudly, but they had spoken clearly. Outside the council hall, the human ship waited. It was modest by alien standards, but built with human ingenuity. Engineers, scientists, and pilots moved about, preparing for the journey back to human space. No one spoke of anger or revenge. The humans knew their strength was in patience, preparation, and quiet determination. On the bridge, Alex looked at the stars. They think we are weak, he said softly. They think we are afraid. They do not know us at all, Lisa smiled. They will learn when the time comes, Kevin nodded. And we will be ready. We have waited long enough. As the human ship departed, council members returned to their chambers. Some laughed, believing humans had left because they had no options. Some felt relief. No one realized that humans had only just begun to show their strength. The galaxy, vast and complex, was about to discover that calm words could hide great power and that humans were not to be underestimated. The stars stretched endlessly before the human fleet. Each ship, each pilot, each colony was quietly moving toward the same goal, preparation. No one in the council knew the extent of the plans or the power humans had developed over centuries of quiet growth. Alex walked through the ship corridors, passing crew members. Engineers checked systems, pilots ran simulations, and scientists studied star charts. Everyone worked silently with purpose. There was no rush, no panic. Humans had learned that patience could outlast even the greatest threats. How long until they realize? Lisa asked. Alex looked out the viewing window. A nebula stretched across the horizon, its colors shifting like fire and water. Soon enough, he said, but not before we are ready. The human ship continued through space, leaving behind the council and its false sense of security. The galaxy assumed humans were weak, small, and manageable. No one knew the truth. Humans had abandoned the talks, yes, but they had not abandoned their strength, their vision, or their future. The calm in the human voice hid storms of preparation, plans that spanned decades, and fleets that could change the course of entire star systems. And so, the first step was taken. Humans left the council not with anger but with clarity. The council believed it had won. It had not. Humans were patient, careful, and waiting. And the galaxy would soon learn that their patience was only the beginning part too. Silence from humanity after leaving the council hall, the humans returned to their home systems. The journey was long, stretching across light years of empty space. Aboard the ships, the crew remained calm. They spoke quietly, giving orders and checking systems. The galaxy did not know it yet, but humans had entered a period of silence that would confuse and worry their neighbors. Alex Morgan stood on the bridge of the main ship, watching the stars slide past. He had grown up hearing stories of the council, of alien empires, and of humanity's weaknesses. Now, after centuries of preparation, he understood the truth. Humans were stronger than anyone believed. They think we will panic, Alex said quietly. They think we will beg for their mercy. They are wrong. Lisa Brown walked beside him. She monitored communication channels. We have gone silent, she said. The council will think we are defeated or struggling. Every message we send is blocked or delayed. No one will know what we are really doing. Kevin Hall joined them, his eyes scanning charts. Our colonies are closing borders. Systems are fortifying. Engineers are readying ships. They will not notice until it is too late. In human space, the planets themselves seem to reflect this new calm. Cities and colonies continued daily life, but there was a quiet sense of purpose. Schools trained children not just in science and art, but in strategy and survival. Factories produced starships, weapons, and engines, all quietly hidden from alien eyes. Research stations expanded knowledge of energy, propulsion, and defense. Humans were preparing, but no one outside the solar system could see it. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council assumed humans were struggling. Fleets that had been dispatched to monitor human systems reported little activity. Trade with human colonies slowed, as if humans had lost interest in commerce. Rumors spread quickly among alien species. Humans are fighting among themselves, one ambassador said. Their colonies cannot survive the distance and harsh planets. They will collapse without aid. Another shook its head. Perhaps they have lost hope. They have left the talks and now they will crumble. No one can survive alone in this part of the galaxy. Alex Morgan, however, knew the truth. Humans were not collapsing. They were growing. Over centuries, humans had learned to adapt to almost any environment. They had survived wars, diseases, and disasters that might have destroyed other species. Now, quietly, they prepared to reclaim their place in the galaxy. On a distant outpost, Mary Cole, a junior human envoy who had remained behind at the council station, prepared to leave. She packed her personal effects carefully and sent a final message to the council. The message was polite, almost casual, but it carried no hint of human weakness. "We leave," she wrote, "not because we fear, but because fairness was denied. Our people will continue in their own way." With that, she quietly departed, disappearing into a small human shuttle. Council monitors barely noticed her leaving. By the time they realized, she was already far from their reach. Mary's exit was symbolic. Humans were not defeated. They were moving silently toward their goals. In human-controlled space, fleets began to gather. Ships built for speed, for endurance, and for combat were quietly tested in hidden sectors. Pilots trained day and night. Engineers refined engines that could outrun and outmaneuver any known alien craft. Scientists worked on energy systems that could bend the rules of physics as the Council understood them. Every step was careful, every project designed for maximum secrecy. The Council, meanwhile, continued its meetings, unaware of what was happening. The aliens believed they had won a subtle victory. Humans had left the talks. No demands were being made. No fleets threatened Council space. The Council relaxed, confident in its decision. "They will return," said one elder, "but only as weaklings. They have left because they cannot fight. We will have no trouble managing them." Other Council members nodded. "We have patience, we have experience. Humans are young and foolish. Let them try. They will fail." But the truth was far different. Humans did not need to fight immediately. Their power was growing in silence, and their strategy was slow, patient, and careful. They were learning from every observation of Council behavior, noting weaknesses in fleets, patterns in supply lines, and gaps in communication networks. Humans were preparing for a time when they could act decisively. In one of the human training stations, Paul Rivera, a former engineer who had worked on Council technologies, walked among trainees. He watched as young pilots learned to maneuver through asteroid fields, to navigate without relying on sensors, and to survive in environments that seemed impossible. He remembered warnings he had given years ago about underestimating humanity. Now he smiled quietly. Humans were growing exactly as he had predicted. Ships were being modified. Cargo vessels were converted into stealth carriers. Research stations doubled as command posts. Even small colonies were equipped with sensors, communication systems, and defensive technologies that no alien observer could detect. Every move was designed to be invisible until the time came to strike. Weeks turned into months. The silence of humanity stretched across the galaxy. The Council occasionally sent probes, hoping to see signs of struggle or weakness. Each probe returned with little information. Humans had become shadows, moving in ways that left no trace. Aliens began to doubt themselves, wondering if they had misjudged the human species. On the main human ship, Alex Morgan gathered his senior team. They reviewed reports, discussed strategies, and coordinated with distant colonies. "They believe we are weak," Alex said. "They believe our silence means fear. Let them think that. Our strength is not in words or noise. Our strength is in preparation and action." Lisa Brown nodded. "Every colony is ready. Communication lines are secure. Fleets are dispersed but coordinated. They will not expect what is coming." Kevin Hall added, "Their overconfidence is our advantage. Every fleet that ignores us now is a fleet we can control later. Every Council world that mocks us now is a world we can outmaneuver." Humans moved quietly, but every system was ready. Starships were equipped with engines that could exceed Council designs. Weapons systems could target multiple fleets simultaneously. Even Council intelligence systems were unable to detect the full scope of human readiness. The Council, still believing they had won, began to relax rules in human sectors. Trade restrictions were eased slightly. Patrols were reduced. Some fleets were reassigned to other regions, leaving gaps in defense. Council diplomats congratulated themselves on their careful management of a species they thought small and weak. Meanwhile, humans were preparing in silence. Each colony was a hub of activity. Children were taught not just academics, but the art of strategy and survival. Engineers experimented with new energy sources. Scientists developed propulsion systems that could travel faster than Council records allowed. Fleets tested maneuvers in hidden sectors. Every day, humans grew stronger, though no one in the Council noticed. Mary Cole continued her travels. She visited hidden stations, oversaw supplies, and checked communications between colonies. She moved quietly, reporting back to Alex and the leadership team. "They still do not understand us," she said. "They assume we are weak. We must be patient. Soon they will see." As the months passed, small signs began to appear near Council borders. Unusual energy readings, small ships moving in unexpected patterns, subtle changes in traffic. Scouts reported anomalies. The Council paid little attention, assuming they were minor. No one considered that humans were quietly preparing for a moment that would change everything. Alex Morgan stood on the bridge one evening, looking out at a distant star cluster. "They think silence is weakness," he said softly, "but it is not. It is preparation, it is patience, it is the calm before the storm. When we act, they will not know it is coming until it is too late." Lisa Brown placed a hand on his shoulder. "And when we act, we will not act in anger. We will act in precision. Every move will be calculated, every strike deliberate." Kevin Hall smiled quietly. "Let them wait, let them watch. They will learn the cost of underestimating humanity." Human colonies continued to thrive in secret. Trade, research, and construction continued, but every project had a purpose. Every system was interconnected. Fleets could respond anywhere within days. Technologies once thought impossible were now ready. The Council assumed humans were disorganized, yet humans had grown into an invisible network of strength. The silence from humanity was not weakness. It was a test. It was a warning hidden in plain sight. The Council believed it had the advantage. It did not. The advantage belonged to humans, who had learned patience, preparation, and the quiet power of waiting. And so, the galaxy remained unaware. The Council continued its daily routines, sending fleets and messages, believing humans were passive. Yet across human space, every starship, every colony, and every mind was ready. The quiet before the storm stretched on, but the time of action approached. Humans were ready to remind the galaxy that silence did not mean fear, and patience could become unstoppable strength. Part 3. Signs of preparation. The Council continued to feel confident. They had seen no human fleets at the borders, no attacks, no complaints. In their chambers, the alien delegates spoke freely, mocking the humans for leaving the peace talks. "They are weak," said Thorin. "They will never return to challenge us." But outside Council space, signs of preparation were quietly appearing. Sensors on distant stations picked up faint energy emissions near old human colonies. Small readings, almost invisible to standard equipment, moved in patterns that seemed irregular. Council scientists debated whether these were natural phenomena. None suspected that humans had been working quietly, testing new energy systems, engines, and weapons far beyond anything the Council had seen. On a remote asteroid base, engineers worked day and night. Paul Rivera, now a senior technical advisor, walked among them. He watched as crews assembled ships with new designs, faster and more durable than any previous human models. Every component was tested and retested. Energy cores were stabilized. Weapon systems were calibrated to extraordinary precision. "They still underestimate us," he said to a young engineer. "That is their mistake. Humans grow in silence, and we are ready." In orbit around human colonies, small stealth fleets moved like shadows. Scouts flew through asteroid fields, learning new maneuvers and practicing evasions. Each pilot knew the value of speed, surprise, and coordination. They could move through regions of space the Council believed safe without being detected. Each mission added experience to the human fleet, quietly preparing them for the moment they would strike. On the bridge of a command ship, Alex Morgan reviewed reports from multiple colonies. "Every system is ready," he said calmly. "We do not need to rush. Patience is our advantage. The Council still believes we are weak. Let them keep that belief." Lisa Brown nodded. Communications are secure, no council system can track us. Even if they try, they will see only empty space. Kevin Hall adjusted the navigation charts. They have removed fleets from the borders, thinking there is no threat. We will take advantage of that. Every delay, every mistake they make now strengthens our position. Meanwhile, the council began to notice small anomalies. Supply routes near human colonies showed unexpected activity. Probes sent to survey space sometimes returned with distorted data. Fleets reported strange energy pulses near regions thought to be empty, but the council dismissed them, assuming minor technical problems. No one considered that humans had built stealth systems and hidden bases for decades, all in preparation for this moment. In one hidden sector, a team of scientists tested a new propulsion system. A small shuttle accelerated faster than any council ship could achieve, yet remained invisible to sensors. The shuttle flew through asteroid fields and nebulae, testing its ability to avoid detection. The results were perfect. The technology was ready for deployment. On another planet, training facilities had expanded. Pilots practiced complex maneuvers, engineers learned new systems, and tacticians studied council strategies. Children in schools learned navigation, survival, and problem-solving. Each generation was stronger, smarter, and more disciplined than the council believed possible. Humans had grown quietly, learning from past mistakes and preparing for a future where no council could control them. In council space, alien diplomats continued to underestimate humans. "They have left the talks," said Malric. "They will not return. We have nothing to fear." "We should remain vigilant," another council member said. Yet even now, humans appear to have lost strength. The truth was far different. Humans had not lost strength, they had hidden it. And now the first signs of their preparation were beginning to appear. Alex Morgan convened a meeting with his senior officers. "Our fleets are ready," he said. "Our colonies are prepared. Our technology surpasses theirs in key areas. Soon we will show the council that silence does not mean weakness." Lisa Brown displayed a holographic map of the council territories. "Their borders are vulnerable," she said. "Fleets have been reassigned. Communication lines are stretched. Every system has gaps we can exploit." Kevin Hall added, "We should continue monitoring, continue preparing, but small strikes or tests may help us learn more about their response times. The council will not expect it." Meanwhile, small unmanned drones were sent to council systems. They traveled quietly, scanning fleets, observing technology, and returning to human space without detection. Each mission provided valuable intelligence. Each mission confirmed that the council had underestimated humanity. In human space, Mary Cole coordinated with colonies and fleets. She ensured that supply chains were secure, that ships were fully operational, and that every system was ready. She also monitored council activity, noting their overconfidence and mistakes. "They still believe we are weak," she said. "Soon they will realize their error." The council finally noticed the pattern. Fleets disappeared without explanation, energy readings were unusual, and small stations reported anomalies. Thorin called for a meeting. "Something is happening near human space," he said. "We must investigate." Malric frowned. "It is probably minor. They have no power to threaten us. Humans are weak. Remember their history." Other council members hesitated, but few took real action. They still assumed humans had left because they were defeated, not because they were planning. The galaxy was about to discover how wrong they were. Hidden bases in asteroid fields became hubs for coordination. Engineers worked on advanced shields, energy weapons, and long-range sensors. Even small colonies were integrated into a network that allowed instant communication and coordination. Humans had built a system that could act across dozens of star systems at once. Alex walked through one of the hidden facilities. Crews worked in silence, each focused on their task. "Everything is almost ready," he said. "We must remain patient. Our advantage grows with every day the council underestimates us." Lisa checked reports from scouts. "Energy readings show minor council activity near our borders. They are beginning to notice us, but they do not understand what they see. Their fleets are scattered, their sensors limited. We can prepare for the moment when action is required." Kevin smiled quietly. "The council believes they are in control. Their overconfidence is our weapon. Every mistake they make strengthens our position." Weeks turned into months. Human fleets moved quietly, testing their systems and training their crews. New starships launched from hidden colonies, designed to move faster and strike harder than Council fleets. Even the smallest vessels were equipped with advanced sensors and weapons. Every detail was designed to ensure that when humans acted, no Council world would be prepared. Council scouts reported strange occurrences, but each time they investigated, they found nothing. They assumed minor glitches in sensors or anomalies in space. No one suspected the scope of human preparation. Humans had become invisible, even as they built the power to challenge the galaxy. On one training planet, a young pilot named Ethan Reed practiced maneuvers through asteroid belts and nebula clouds. He flew with precision, learning to rely on instincts, strategy, and teamwork. "When the time comes," he said to his squad, "we will be ready. No one will see us coming until it is too late." In command centers, Alex Morgan reviewed reports daily. "Every colony is ready," he said. "Fleets are coordinated, engineers are prepared, pilots are trained. The Council has no idea what is coming. Patience is our strength, and now preparation is our shield." Lisa Brown added, "We have hidden weapons, advanced engines, and fleets ready to move instantly. They still believe humans are weak. Soon they will understand the truth." Kevin Hall checked sensor reports. "Every probe the Council sends will fail to detect us. They do not know the full scope of our power. We are ready to respond anywhere." As months passed, human fleets continued to grow and prepare. Hidden stations expanded. New technologies were tested. Colonies became hubs of strategy, defense, and production. The galaxy assumed that humans were passive, weak, and struggling. They were wrong. Every quiet action, every small test, every hidden fleet movement built a larger network of power. Humans were patient, but they were also unstoppable when needed. They had abandoned peace talks, yes, but they had not abandoned their strength. They were growing, silently, into a force the Council could not ignore. And the first real signs of human preparation were only just beginning to reach Council space. Small energy pulses, stealth ships glimpsed by scouts, and hidden bases all pointed to a quiet, unstoppable growth. The Council believed they had nothing to fear, but humans had only begun to reveal the surface of their strength. Alex Morgan stood on the observation deck of the command ship, looking at distant stars. "We are ready," he said softly. "They still believe we are weak, but patience, preparation, and discipline will show them the truth. Soon, the Council will learn that humans are not to be underestimated." Lisa Brown smiled. "And when they learn, it will be too late." Kevin Hall nodded. "Every mistake they make now strengthens us. They will not see our fleets, our technology, or our strategy until it is too late. And by then, humanity will have regained its place among the stars." Humans moved quietly, but every system, every fleet, every colony was part of a growing power that could change the galaxy. The silence of humanity was no longer a sign of weakness. It was the calm before a storm that would shake the Council to its core. Part 4. The return of human voices. For centuries, the Council had ignored the humans. They believed that leaving the peace talks meant defeat, that silence meant weakness. But now, for the first time in decades, a human voice returned to Council space. It was calm, clear, and deliberate, carrying authority that the Council had never expected. The Council chambers were filled with delegates when a transmission appeared on every screen. Nina Scott, a human envoy, stood aboard a command ship near the Council borders. Her uniform was simple, yet she exuded confidence. Her eyes looked directly into the cameras, her expression calm but firm. "Delegates of the Galactic Council," she began, "humans have listened patiently. We have waited while you spoke of our weakness. We have observed your fleets, your technologies, and your decisions. We have asked for peace, not because we feared war, but because we valued life and fairness. You chose comfort over justice. Now you will see the cost of your decision." A murmur ran through the Council hall. No one expected a human to speak so openly, so directly. Many aliens whispered to each other. "What is this? They have returned?" one asked. Another shook its head. "Surely it is a bluff," Nina Scott continued. "Humans have grown quietly, steadily, and without your notice. Our fleets have moved, our colonies have prepared, and our technology surpasses what you believed possible. We are not here to beg. We are here to show that fairness is not optional." On the main human command ship, Alex Morgan watched the transmission. He stood beside Lisa Brown and Kevin Hall. They are finally seeing us, Alex said softly, but they still do not understand. They will not realize the truth until it is too late. Lisa nodded. We are ready. Every fleet, every system, every colony is prepared to act. And yet we wait. Patience is our strength. Kevin added, their panic will come soon. They will see that silence was not weakness, and they will regret underestimating us. As Nina spoke, human fleets began to appear at multiple points along Council borders. Ships moved in coordinated formations, unseen until now. Energy shields shimmered faintly, weapons systems powered up, and sensors lit up with readings the Council had never encountered. Fleets that had once seemed small and weak now appeared enormous, organized, and ready for action. Thorin, who had once dismissed humans as powerless, looked at the screens in disbelief. This cannot be, he said. They are stronger than we imagined. Malric leaned forward, his glowing eyes narrowing. Our fleets are not sufficient, he said. We underestimated them. Every calculation we made was wrong. Nina Scott continued. We value life and we prefer peace. We are not here to destroy without cause. But we will not accept control, lies, or oppression. You have chosen your path. Now we show ours. On the Council worlds, panic began to spread. Fleets that had been stationed lightly along borders were now vulnerable. Supply chains, command centers, and outposts all faced the reality that humans had prepared quietly for decades. The galaxy's most powerful council had never faced a species like this. Back in human space, Alex Morgan issued final orders. Fleets moved into position. Hidden bases activated communication links. Drones and scouts fed intelligence back to command ships. Every human system was connected, every ship ready, every plan calculated. The Council had assumed humans were disorganized. They were wrong. Nina Scott's transmission continued. You may still choose peace. You may still recognize equality and fairness. If you do, humans will hold back and no blood will be spilled. If you do not, you will learn that patience and preparation are more powerful than fear or arrogance. Lisa Brown watched the Council's response. They are frozen, she said. Their delegates cannot believe what they see. We have reached them. Kevin Hall nodded. And we will hold the advantage. They will not have time to react before we are ready to act. In hidden sectors near Council space, small human fleets tested maneuvers one final time. Pilots executed complex formations, engineers checked weapons and shields, and every system was verified for coordination. The fleets were ready to strike if necessary, but humans preferred a chance for the Council to make the right choice. Alex turned to his team. Our message has been received. Now we wait. Their choice will determine what happens next. Patience is still our ally. In Council chambers, debate raged. Some species called for immediate retaliation, fearing the humans' strength. Others suggested diplomacy, realizing that confrontation could be catastrophic. Thorin shouted orders to deploy fleets, but Malric argued for caution. We have underestimated them, Malric said. We cannot know the full extent of their power. The Council realized that the humans were not the same species they had once dismissed. Humans had grown beyond expectation, beyond prediction, and beyond control. The fleet's technology and preparation all demonstrated that the Council had made a grave mistake. Nina Scott's voice remained calm. We do not seek unnecessary conflict. We do not act from anger. We act from principle. Fairness is not a request. It is a right. You may still choose to honor it. The first signs of Council panic began to appear. Fleets scrambled to adjust positions. Communications became chaotic. Sensors detected human ships in unexpected locations. Reports of anomalies grew faster than Council analysts could process. The Council had believed they were in control, but the truth was clear. Humans had prepared a network, a fleet, and a strategy that could overwhelm them if necessary. Back on the command ship, Alex watched the Council scramble. They are finally realizing, he said. They assumed we were weak. They assumed we were silent out of fear. They were wrong. Humans are patient, disciplined, and unstoppable when provoked. Lisa Brown smiled. And yet we do not strike yet. We give them the chance to choose correctly. Kevin Hall nodded. Our advantage is that they do not know the full extent of our strength. Even now, they only see a fraction. We remain calm and we remain ready. Across human space, hidden colonies continued operations. Supplies, reinforcements, and fleets were ready for deployment. Training exercises continued. Intelligence networks monitored Council activity. Humans had built a system capable of instantaneous coordination across hundreds of light years. The Council could not comprehend the depth of preparation they faced. In council chambers, debate continued. Some species wanted immediate action, but others warned that any strike could provoke total retaliation. The council had assumed that humans could be contained or intimidated. Now they faced the truth. Humans were no longer a species that could be ignored. Nina Scott concluded her transmission. "We are not your enemies unless you make us so. The choice is yours, fairness or conflict. We will respect life if you respect equality. History will remember your decision." The council fell silent. The delegates realized that they had underestimated humanity for centuries. They had mocked, ignored, and dismissed humans, believing that peace talks were a sign of weakness. Now, for the first time, they saw the consequences of their arrogance. On human ships, crews prepared quietly. Energy weapons were armed but not fired. Engines were ready but not fully engaged. Every system was checked and coordinated. Humans remained calm, disciplined, and ready for any outcome. Alex Morgan turned to his officers. "They know we are strong," he said. "They know we are prepared. Now we wait for their choice. It will determine everything." Lisa Brown nodded. "We are ready for peace if they choose correctly. We are ready for war if they do not. The Council has learned too late that humans cannot be underestimated." Kevin Hall added, "And they will soon understand that patience, preparation, and quiet strength are more powerful than arrogance, pride, or dismissive words. Humans do not act without reason, but when we act decisively." In the council hall, Thorin looked at the screens again. "We have ignored them for too long," he said quietly. "They are no longer the humans we once dismissed. Every calculation, every assumption we made was wrong." Malric added, "Our fleets are not enough. Our technology is not enough. We cannot know the full scope of what they have built." Outside council space, human fleets held formation, waiting. Their message had been delivered. Their strength had been revealed, at least in part. The council had seen the consequences of underestimating humanity. Nina Scott's final words echoed across council space. "We are humans. We have waited, we have prepared, and we have observed. We prefer peace, but we will not accept control. Your choice is clear. Fairness or the consequences of your mistake." The council understood, finally, the depth of their error. They had ignored humanity, dismissed them, and assumed weakness. Now, for the first time, they realized that humans were a species that could not be controlled, underestimated, or ignored. The galaxy had changed, and the consequences were only beginning. Human fleets remained poised, disciplined, and patient. The Council had seen the first signs of human power. Soon, the full extent of preparation, strategy, and strength would become impossible to ignore. And in that quiet tension, the galaxy waited for the Council's choice. Fairness or Humanity's Unstoppable Response Part 5. The mistake understood. The council chambers were filled with tension. Every delegate knew that the humans had returned. Fleets appeared at the borders, unseen until now. Energy readings and weapon signatures far beyond council expectations filled reports. The council had ignored humans for too long. Now they faced the consequences. Thorin stood at the front of the hall, his bronze-colored skin shimmering under the lights. "We underestimated them," he said quietly. "For centuries we dismissed their requests, ignored their growth, and assumed weakness where none existed. Now we see our mistake." Malric, with his glowing eyes, nodded. "They are patient, disciplined, and prepared. We cannot predict the full extent of their fleets or their technology. Every calculation we made was wrong. Humans are no longer a species to control or ignore." Outside council space, human fleets held position. Ships of all sizes moved in coordinated formations, ready to strike, but not yet attacking. Energy weapons hummed faintly, shields shimmered, and sensors scanned every council system. Humans had made their presence clear. They had delivered a message through preparation and display, but they had not yet forced conflict. On the bridge of the main command ship, Alex Morgan observed the council systems. Beside him, Lisa Brown monitored communications and Kevin Hall tracked fleet readiness. "They finally understand," Alex said, "but they still do not know everything. Our strength is greater than they realize." Lisa nodded. "We give them the chance for peace. We show them our power, but we do not act unless necessary." Kevin added, "Their choice will determine the outcome, fairness or consequences." Nina Scott appeared again on council screens. Her expression remained calm and composed. Delegates of the Galactic Council, she said, humans have waited long. We have prepared in silence while you assumed weakness. We do not seek destruction, but we will defend our rights, our colonies, and our people. The choice is yours. A murmur ran through the council hall. Some species suggested immediate surrender, acknowledging humans' preparation. Others debated resistance, still clinging to the hope that human strength could be contained. We cannot risk our fleets, one elder said. They are too advanced. Our borders are vulnerable. Every fleet we control could be neutralized. Another argued, we have power in numbers. If we strike quickly, we may still survive. Humans may be strong, but they cannot reach every system at once. Thorin shook his head. Every calculation has failed us. Humans have prepared for every scenario. They have grown quietly beyond our observation. Every fleet, every colony, every weapon system has been coordinated. We are too late. In human space, Alex Morgan convened a final strategy meeting with senior officers. We have shown our strength, he said. The Council knows the truth. They understand their mistake. Now we wait. If they choose peace and fairness, conflict can be avoided. If they do not, we are ready. Lisa Brown checked fleet systems. All units are operational. Every ship from the smallest scout to the largest carrier is ready to act. Our message is clear. Fairness is possible, but we will not tolerate arrogance or oppression. Kevin Hall reviewed sensor data. Every Council fleet is accounted for. Their mistakes are clear. They have moved poorly, leaving gaps we could exploit, but we act only if necessary. Patience is our advantage. Back in the council chambers, panic began to spread. Fleets scrambled to respond to the human presence. Communication systems were flooded with reports of unusual activity. Energy readings indicated fleets and weapons beyond anything previously recorded. Delegates realized the humans had grown far beyond expectations. Malric raised his hand. His glow dimmed slightly. We made a mistake. Humans are not to be underestimated. Every fleet we thought safe is now vulnerable. Every plan we had assumed control is obsolete. Thorin spoke. We must choose now, fairness or the consequences of ignoring a species that has grown in silence. The council debated, but no consensus was reached. Fear spread. Some species urged surrender while others hesitated, unwilling to admit that their arrogance had failed. The humans, patient and disciplined, waited. Their fleets moved silently, like shadows across the galaxy, visible but restrained. Nina Scott spoke again. We prefer peace, but we will not compromise our rights. The Council may choose equality and fairness, or it may face the consequences of its mistake. The choice is yours. For hours, the Council debated. Fleets moved into better defensive positions, but humans anticipated every adjustment. Every Council action was matched with human observation, every response noted, every weakness recorded. The Council realized that the humans had planned for this moment with precision, patience, and foresight. Finally, Thorin spoke to the chamber. We recognize the mistake we have made, he said. Humans have grown beyond our expectations. They are patient, disciplined, and prepared. We choose to honor their rights. We accept equality and fairness. We will adjust our laws and systems to respect human colonies and fleets. Nina Scott smiled slightly. Humans have sought peace, and it has been offered. We accept this choice. The galaxy is safer when all species act with fairness and respect. Outside Council space, human fleets remained poised but relaxed. They had prepared for war, but war was not needed. Patience had brought the Council to a decision that avoided conflict. Human strategy, discipline, and foresight had prevailed without firing a single shot. Alex Morgan addressed his officers. We have achieved our goal. Fairness has been recognized, but we remain vigilant. The galaxy will always test humanity. We are prepared and we will respond if necessary. But today, patience and preparation have brought success. Lisa Brown nodded. We have shown them strength, but not recklessness. Humans act with principle, not impulse. Today is proof that patience, discipline, and planning can achieve what force alone cannot. Kevin Hall added, and the Council will remember this. Every species in the galaxy will know that humans are not to be underestimated. That silence does not mean weakness, and that preparation is as powerful as any weapon. In the Council chambers, delegates adjusted to the new reality. Human fleets had proven their strength without conflict. The Council had learned that ignoring a species, underestimating it, and assuming weakness could lead to dangerous consequences. Fairness was restored, not through fear, but through patient demonstration of capability. Nina Scott concluded, "Humans will continue to work for peace, but we will not be ignored. Fairness, equality, and respect are our principles. The Council has learned that patience and preparation are as important as power. May this lesson guide the galaxy." As transmissions ended, human fleets began returning to hidden bases, ready but unthreatened. Colonies resumed normal operations, still vigilant but satisfied that their patience and preparation had succeeded. The galaxy had witnessed the return of human voices, fleets, and strategy. The Council had understood its mistake. Alex Morgan stood on the observation deck, looking at the stars. "This is only the beginning," he said. "We have shown our strength, our patience, and our discipline. The Council knows not to underestimate humanity. The galaxy has learned that we act with principle and, when necessary, decisively." Lisa Brown looked at him. "And they will remember it. Every species will know the cost of arrogance." Kevin Hall nodded. "Our patience has brought victory without bloodshed, but we remain ready for any future challenge. Humans will never be ignored again." The Council, having recognized its mistake, began to adjust its policies. Laws were changed, restrictions lifted, and human colonies integrated fully into galactic systems. The lesson was clear. Patience, preparation, and principle were as important as fleets, weapons, or numbers. Humans had returned not for revenge, but for recognition and fairness. And the galaxy, for the first time in centuries, understood the quiet power of humanity.